I mean, I get to see footage of myself. It's some very, very detailed home movies I have between the television series and then all the interviews that went with it.
For over 4 decades, fans have been captivated by the romance of Laura and Almanzo on Little House on the Prairie. But what if it was all a facade? Melissa Gilbert has finally unveiled the truth about her bond with Dean Butler, and it's a revelation that will shatter your expectations. From the pressures of child stardom to a lifelong quest for authenticity, her journey is a tale of resilience and hidden struggles. What secret has she kept all these years? Join us to uncover the story that changes everything. What was the real story behind the romance that captivated millions on Little House on the Prairie? For years, fans have whispered about the chemistry between Laura Ingalls and Almanzo Wilder, wondering if the sparks between Melissa Gilbert and Dean Butler were more than just acting. After decades of silence, Melissa has finally shared a truth that's left even her most devoted fans reeling. What could she have kept hidden all this time? In the 1970s and 80s, Little House on the Prairie wasn't just a TV show. It was a window into a simpler time, a story of family, resilience, and heart. The Ingalls family, living in a modest wooden home on the rugged frontier, faced harsh winters, scarce resources, and endless challenges. Yet their love for each other and their community made every struggle feel surmountable. At the core of this tale was Laura Ingalls, a girl with boundless curiosity and a spirit that resonated with viewers worldwide. Played by Melissa Gilbert, Laura became an icon, her journey from childhood to womanhood unfolding on screen for nearly a decade. But what was it about her story that kept audiences glued to their TVs week after week? Laura's adventures weren't just about surviving the prairie. They were about growing up, finding love, and chasing dreams. As the series progressed, fans watched her evolve, her pigtails giving way to a young woman's grace. And then came Almanzo Wilder, portrayed by Dean Butler, a character who changed everything. From the moment he stepped onto the set in Season 6, his quiet strength and warm smile sparked something undeniable. When Laura's eyes met Almanzo's, it was as if the prairie itself held its breath. Their connection felt so real that fans couldn't help but wonder, was this love story more than just a script? Could Melissa and Dean have been hiding something off-screen? Back then, there were no X-Posts or behind-the-scenes vlogs to spill the tea. The 1970s left fans with only episodes and the occasional magazine interview, fueling speculation about Melissa and Dean's relationship. Their on-screen wedding, filled with tender glances and heartfelt vows, only deepened the mystery. Did they share a bond beyond the cameras? For years, neither Melissa nor Dean addressed the rumors, letting the questions simmer. This silence turned their story into a legend, one that fans are still unraveling today. But what was really happening behind those romantic scenes? Before we uncover Melissa's long-awaited revelation, we need to step back to understand the girl who became Laura Ingalls. Melissa Gilbert's life was far from the prairie simplicity she portrayed. Born on May 8, 1964, in Los Angeles, she was adopted just a day later by Paul Gilbert, a comedian and actor, and Barbara Crane, a dancer and actress. Growing up in a showbiz family, Melissa was no stranger to the spotlight. Her father brought her to auditions, where cameras and scripts felt as familiar as toys. But beneath the glamour, her childhood was complex, marked by the pressures of a performing family and the emotional weight of her parents' eventual divorce. By age 7, Melissa was already a pro, starring in commercials with a natural charm that caught everyone's eye. Her expressive face and genuine delivery made her a standout, landing her small TV roles that hinted at her potential. Then at 9, she auditioned for a role that would define her life: Laura Ingalls. The producers needed someone who could carry the heart of Little House on the Prairie, and Melissa's screen test with Michael Landon, the show's star and producer, sealed her fate. Michael, who played Laura's father, Charles Ingalls, saw something special in her, a spark that would light up the screen for years. Michael Landon wasn't just a co-star. He became a guiding light in Melissa's life. After her parents' divorce, when her relationship with her adoptive father grew distant, Michael stepped in as a mentor and protector. He welcomed her into his family, where she bonded with his daughter Leslie, sharing sleepovers and secrets like sisters. For a young girl navigating the chaos of Hollywood, this sense of belonging was everything. But what did it mean for Melissa to grow up under such intense scrutiny, with millions watching her every move? The set of Little House on the Prairie became Melissa's second home. She formed tight bonds with co-stars like Allison Arngrim, who played the delightfully devious Nellie Olson. Together, they laughed, learned, and tackled the demands of a hit show. By her teens, Melissa had mastered emotional scenes and complex storylines, earning praise for her ability to balance fame with humility. Yet, as Laura's character matured, the show introduced a new challenge: love. Enter Dean Butler as Almanzo Wilder, a casting choice that would test Melissa in ways she never expected. When Dean arrived on set, Melissa was just 15 while he was 23. An 8-year age gap that mirrored the historical characters but felt daunting for a teenager. In her 2009 memoir, Prairie Tale, Melissa describes her reaction as a mix of dread and nausea. She'd expected someone closer to her age, not a grown man who drove and lived independently. The thought of filming romantic scenes left her wanting to flee. Dean, reflecting in his 2024 memoir, Prairie Man, acknowledged the challenge, wishing they'd been closer in age to better capture the nuances of their characters' love. Their first on-screen kiss in the Season 6 episode Sweet 16 was fraught with tension. Both actors felt the weight of the moment, with Melissa grappling with her inexperience and Dean navigating the responsibility of his role. Adding to the drama, Melissa's mother, Barbara, was so unsettled by the age difference that she broke down sobbing during the scene, prompting Michael Landon to halt filming. Daily Mail. This emotional outburst revealed the protective instincts of a mother watching her daughter step into an adult role too soon. How did Melissa cope with these pressures at such a young age? Despite the awkward start, Melissa and Dean forged a professional bond that grew into a lasting friendship. Today, they look back with warmth, often sharing laughs at fan events. People. But the question remains: what truth has Melissa finally shared after all these years? What could shift the way we see Laura and Almanzo's love story? To uncover the secret that's been buried for decades, stay tuned for Part 2, where the real story begins to unfold. At 9 years old, Melissa stepped into Laura's world with wide-eyed excitement. The set was a playground of period costumes, horse-drawn wagons, and sprawling fields that transported her to another era. But as the seasons rolled on, the magic began to fade. While other kids her age were at school or playing with friends, Melissa was memorizing scripts, hitting marks, and delivering heartfelt performances under bright lights. The role that once felt like an adventure became a heavy mantle. The pressure to embody Laura's perfection, her kindness, her courage, followed her everywhere. Fans approached her on the street, expecting the same warmth they saw on screen, but Melissa was just a girl, not a character. It was tough, she later shared in her memoir Prairie Tale. Everyone treated me like I was Laura, not the person behind the braids. As she entered her teens, Melissa grappled with a question that haunted her. Who was she outside of Laura Ingalls? The line between her identity and her character blurred, leaving her caught between the expectations of millions and her own search for self. Where does Laura end and where do I begin, she wondered. The spotlight amplified every insecurity, making it hard to grow up when the world already thought they knew her. This struggle wasn't just emotional, it was sensory. Melissa later revealed she battled misophonia, a condition where everyday sounds like chewing or tapping triggered intense discomfort. Undiagnosed at the time, it added an invisible layer of stress to her days on set, as she shared in a 2015 People magazine interview. How did she keep going under such relentless pressure? When Dean Butler joined the cast as Almanzo Wilder in Season 6, Melissa's world shifted again. At 15, she was tasked with portraying a romantic relationship with a 23-year-old man, a dynamic that felt worlds apart from her own teenage reality. In Prairie Tale, she described the experience as daunting. "I was 15 and he was 23. I was a little girl, and I had to pretend to fall in love with a grown man." Their first on-screen kiss, filmed for the episode Sweet 16, was anything but romantic behind the scenes. Melissa felt terrified, her inexperience clashing with the script's demands. Dean, too, sensed the awkwardness. There was anxiety on both sides of that kiss, he admitted in a 2024 People interview, reflecting on their 8-year age gap. "I wish we could have been closer in age." Adding to the tension, Melissa's mother, Barbara, was so unsettled by the scene that she broke down sobbing on set, prompting Michael Landon to halt filming, as Dean recounts in his memoir, Prairie Man. This raw moment underscored the emotional weight of watching a teenager navigate adult roles. Despite the discomfort, Melissa and Dean forged a professional bond rooted in mutual respect. "Dean was like a big brother," Melissa wrote, dispelling decades of fan speculation about a real-life romance. Her heart, it turns out, was elsewhere, set on teen heartthrob Rob Lowe, whom she dated in the 1980s. Yet the fans' obsession with Laura and Almanzo's love story only grew, fueled by their undeniable on-screen chemistry. Letters poured in, begging for more scenes, more kisses, more of the couple that defined TV romance. But behind the scenes, Melissa was learning to navigate love on screen while still figuring out what it meant in real life. How did she balance the expectations of millions with her own uncertainties? Beyond the romance, Melissa faced another battle: Hollywood's unforgiving beauty standards. In 1981, she landed a role in the remake of Splendor in the Grass, a stark departure from the Prairie's simplicity. The wardrobe team swapped her modest dresses for tight, glamorous outfits, pushing her to embody a sultry, idealized image. The scrutiny was relentless. Fans and critics alike commented on her body, her face, her transformation from the girl they knew. At 18, feeling the weight of these expectations, Melissa made a choice many young actresses faced. She underwent a nose job. "It wasn't a big deal," she wrote in Prairie Tale, but the reality was grueling. The procedure left her in intense pain, with complications requiring 2 more surgeries. "My face hurt like hell," she recalled, describing the gauze-packed recovery. Years later, Melissa took another bold step. In 2015, she had her breast implants removed and stopped dyeing her hair red, a decision she called "one of the smartest things I've ever done" in a People interview. This marked a turning point, a rejection of Hollywood's pressure to conform. Today, she's a fierce advocate for natural aging, challenging the industry's obsession with youth. "There's no such thing as anti-aging," she told Prevention magazine in 2020. "Aging is a privilege, not a problem. I'm aging gratefully." Her journey from altering her appearance to embracing her authentic self resonates with countless women navigating similar pressures. But what drove her to finally break free from these expectations? What became of Melissa Gilbert when the prairie fields faded from view? As Little House on the Prairie wrapped in 1983, a chapter closed for the young actress who had grown up as America's beloved Laura Ingalls. But the end of the show was just the beginning of a journey filled with reinvention, struggle, and a quiet triumph that would redefine her legacy. At 19, Melissa faced a world that still saw her as the girl with pigtails running through golden fields. Breaking free from Laura's shadow was no small feat. Hollywood often typecasts child stars, and Melissa was no exception. Yet she refused to be confined. She took on roles in TV movies like Choices of the Heart and The Miracle Worker, showcasing a depth that went beyond the Prairie. Her Broadway performances and voice work further proved her versatility, each project a bold step toward carving out a new identity. "I wanted to be seen as more than Laura," she wrote in her 2009 memoir, Prairie Tale. But could she ever truly escape the role that defined her childhood? Her personal life was a whirlwind of highs and lows. Melissa's romance with teen heartthrob Rob Lowe captivated tabloids, while her marriages to actors Bo Brinkman and Bruce Boxleitner brought both joy and heartbreak. From her first marriage, she welcomed her son Dakota, and her second gave her 2 stepsons, creating a blended family that shaped her life. But beneath the headlines, Melissa grappled with deeper struggles. In Prairie Tale, she laid bare her battles with addiction and self-doubt, admitting there were moments she felt unrecognizable to herself. "I was lost in my own life," she confessed, her words striking a chord with fans who saw her vulnerability as a strength. How did she find her way through such darkness? Health challenges tested her further. In her 40s, Melissa faced chronic neck and spine issues, exacerbated by a fall during her 2012 appearance on Dancing with the Stars. The surgery that followed was grueling, but her determination shone through. She refused to let pain define her, instead using her platform to inspire others. In 2016, she took an unexpected leap, running for Congress in Michigan's 8th District. Her campaign was a bold move to advocate for her community, though health concerns forced her to step back. "I wanted to make a difference," she told People magazine, her voice carrying the weight of someone who'd never stopped fighting. What drove her to take such a risk? The turning point came in 2013 when Melissa married actor Timothy Busfield. Together, they left Hollywood's chaos behind, settling into a modest home in the Catskill Mountains. There, they embraced a life of simplicity, growing vegetables, raising chickens, and often living without Wi-Fi. "I wanted to return to something real," Melissa shared in a 2022 Daily Mail interview. This shift wasn't just about geography. It was a rejection of Hollywood's relentless pressure to stay young and flawless. In 2015, she removed her breast implants and stopped dyeing her hair, embracing her natural self. "Aging is a privilege," she declared in a 2020 Prevention interview. "I'm aging gratefully, not gracefully." Her words challenged an industry obsessed with youth, resonating with women everywhere. Financially, Melissa's journey has been as complex as her personal life. Her net worth, estimated at $500,000 combined with Busfield's, might surprise fans given her decades-long career. Tax debts revealed during her 2016 congressional run stemmed from a stalled acting career, divorces, and economic challenges, as noted in a 2024 Tuco article. She tackled these with a payment plan showing resilience. Real estate reflects her shift from Hollywood glamour to rural simplicity. In 2014, she sold her Tarzana home for $1.195 million, but in 2019, she and Busfield bought a 14-acre Catskills property for just $98,000, a choice prioritizing peace over luxury. Unlike many celebrities, she doesn't flaunt luxury cars or high-end watches, focusing instead on authenticity. Her business venture, Modern Prairie, a lifestyle brand launched in 2022, celebrates community and handmade goods by female artisans, aligning with her values. Her books, including Back to the Prairie, 2022, provide additional income while sharing her story. Though specific insurance details aren't public, her health struggles suggest she prioritizes health and asset protection. Melissa's financial lessons, adaptability, resilience in the face of setbacks, and the impact of personal challenges offer a roadmap for navigating Hollywood's unpredictability. Melissa's legacy extends far beyond Little House on the Prairie. She's a mother, a wife, an author, and a fierce advocate for mental health and natural aging. Through her Modern Prairie brand and public speaking, she inspires women to embrace their authentic selves, rejecting society's pressure to chase perfection. Her friendship with Dean Butler, rooted in respect and shared history, remains a testament to their professionalism as seen at the 2024 Little House 50th Anniversary reunion. Today, Melissa Gilbert is a symbol of courage, living a life that's not perfect but profoundly real. What does it mean to age gratefully in a world obsessed with youth? Her story invites us to find out. Melissa Gilbert's journey from the sunlit fields of Walnut Grove to a life of quiet authenticity in the Catskills is a testament to courage and self-discovery. Her candid revelations about her bond with Dean Butler and her battles with fame show us the woman behind the iconic Laura Ingalls, a woman who chose truth over perfection. What moment from her story hit home for you? Drop your thoughts in the comments and let's keep the conversation alive. If this inspired you, give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more heartfelt celebrity stories. We've got more tales of resilience and reinvention coming your way, so stay tuned. Like Laura taught us to cherish family, Melissa reminds us that the greatest legacy is living true to ourselves.